Hats off to you. FindAReverseMortgage.com hasn't always been so popular. Back when I started doing reverse mortgages, I was an insurance agent struggling to make ends meet. And we all know how it is starting out in life after college. You're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed getting into the world. I was recently married, and I had rent to pay, and I had to get odd jobs to make ends meet. I bartended, I dug ditches, I installed sprinkler systems. That was one of the hardest jobs I ever did in my life. And I stumbled across this new industry that was just forming. Is called reverse mortgage, and I found my old seminar presentation, and this was actually an insurance company that hired me to be their Southern California marketing person, and part of my job was giving speeches on this fairly new program, and there weren't a lot of. I felt like a big shot because they filled up the rooms with financial people, CPAs, lawyers, lots of senior homeowners. They advertised in all the newspapers, but the benefits are still basically the same 29 years later. Benefits for the rest of your life. So here's one of the, I cut out the name of the company. But benefits for the rest of your life, even if you live a very long time, even if the value of your home goes down, even if you sell your home and move, it's still your home. Title does not change. Here's another slide. Your home equals monthly tax-free income. So I made my own slides after a while when I became a real estate broker. Well, initially I became a real estate agent because in those days you needed to be a real estate agent. And also sell reverse mortgages. And I was also an insurance agent, and still am. But it was a wonderful product to add to my menu of products. I learned a long time ago from my dad, my parents, is that when opportunities come, here's a picture of my mom. I have a picture of her right here. You know, rest in peace, Mama. I love you and I miss you. And she was my biggest fan, you know. I think, our families, we learned so much on how to deal with people from our families. And my parents were both people, and they love people, and I love people as well. And I especially love it when people come to me. I'm a problem solver. So when I get calls, it's always like there's chaos. It's like, I can't afford my mortgage payments. The mortgage company is raise the interest rates, and that's what I'm getting right now. Is if you have an adjustable mortgage, I get a lot of calls from people that where their mortgages are going up, or they have a mortgage, and they just decided, okay, enough is enough. I keep on hearing it on the radio. I see it all everywhere, TV. I see celebrities, spokesmen doing reverse mortgage, doing all this, and I want to know what it's about. So they call me. I still get a lot of calls. I'm very blessed and grateful for the opportunity to, to wear the hat of the reverse mortgage guy. And if you're interested in this program, you can go to findareversemortgage.com and check out my website. You can text me. I love helping people. Every situation's different. That's what I love about this program, is that every situation's different. Every person is a different person, but the problem is the same. It's a money problem. And one thing I learned a long time ago when I was doing these seminars is I learned a lot with all the experience and people don't care how much you know. That's one thing that differentiates, I think, what differentiates you from the person down the street. And I think that that you'll see that I truly do care about your situation, and every situation's different. Every person is different. Everybody has different stories. I was talking to one of my clients yesterday, and I keep in contact with my clients even after the closing. It's like a real estate transaction, because it's not like one and done, and then you're out of my life. I continue to keep in contact with you, and you can always call me, ask me questions. You are gonna get a statement from a servicing company. It's gonna give you a lot of the same information that your mortgage statement's gonna have on it. But you can call them for your money, and you can call me if you have questions about interest rate, or about just anything that you have, or you have a lot of my business is referrals. I'm very grateful for that. And anyway, so when my client, they called me yesterday, he's 95, and he's been with me for 20 years. He did his first reverse mortgage with me 20 years ago. And he kept on telling me, which is incredible, he's going to be married 70 years in September. His name's Bill and Carolyn. And, God bless him. 70 years, that's the record, I think. 66 years was the previous record for my clients. And I also have 3 clients over 100. I've got, it's just a wonderful business because you're helping people. And if you can imagine eliminating your mortgage payment of like $2,500 a month or $3,000, don't look at it as just, oh, it's only saving me $2,500 a month. Look at it like, hey, over 1 year, that's $30,000. Over 10 years, it's $300,000 you're saving. Okay, so anyway, so look at it like that. Look at what is saving you. And then at the end, you want a living trust. Okay, that's a little food for thought. You want to get a living trust if you don't have one already, because you don't want to tie up your property in probate, because then they don't. I'm not giving you legal advice, but I have one case right now where I got a call from the daughter. She inherited the property from her mom. She passed away. She's now living in the property, and she didn't have a reverse mortgage. She's trying to do a reverse mortgage. She was referred to me by one of my reverse mortgage clients. So they have a regular loan, and she can't afford the payments. So she hired a lawyer, and now it's being tied up in probate. And it's been months, and she can't do a reverse mortgage. She can't do anything with it until. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not giving you legal advice, but give me a call. Every situation's different, okay? So you have questions, I got answers. I'm not one of those guys that's going to say, oh, let me get back to you on that, okay? There's really no question there's really no answer. There's no question that I can't answer, bottom line, about reverse mortgages. I've helped over 10,000 people do it. One thing, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It's an old Irish proverb. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and I truly do care about you. I care about your situation, so I'm sensitive to the fact that you are in a financial pickle, and so give me a call. A lot of my calls come from kids wanting to help their parents, healthcare, home healthcare, pay for home healthcare, because who's going to end up paying for home healthcare if they can't afford it? You are, because you don't want to take your mom and dad. I've seen this happen where and it happened with my own parents. My own parents did not own a home, and they were taken out of the home they were renting and placed in a nursing home. And it was one of the hardest things in my life that I ever dealt with in my life, and I live with the guilt of knowing that I didn't bring them into my own home. My dad had Alzheimer's, and so he was at the stage, I know every stage of Alzheimer's, because my dad had stage 1 to 7. 8 is death, but my dad had stage 7 for 3 years. He was a fighter. But there's one stage in Alzheimer's where they get violent, and he was at that stage, so we put him in an Alzheimer's home, and I still feel guilty about that. But if you're even if you're an adult child and you're struggling with your parents aging and getting older, I'm sensitive to that. The whole purpose behind reverse mortgages, I have one of the slides in here, is to help pay for home health care. That's the whole purpose, kind of like that's one of the main purposes behind reverse mortgages, is to help pay for home health care. And without further ado, you can go to my website. Every single caller gets a hat. every click, every email, you get a free hat. Find a reversemortgage.com. Call me, Jamie Smith. I'm also on the radio. If you listen to KNX 1070, I've been on KNX for over 20 years. I've been on almost every radio station. So God bless you, and I look forward to hearing about your situation. All the best.